Hi, I thought I'd just give you an update about what's happening at the moment with all the chaos going on in the world. Dogs and cats living together. It's absolutely nuts. Anyway, the update time about the lab and what's happening and the EEVblog and channel, the business and all that sort of stuff. So I hope everyone is safe and healthy and all that sort of stuff. Let us know in the comments down below. Almost everyone is like isolated at home, I think. I'm isolated, well, at home and in the lab. I can still come to the building. There's absolutely nothing, there's no law against it. There's nothing stopping me actually coming here to the lab because I am on my own. The only person I interact with is basically the DHL courier guy a couple of days a week. That's pretty much it. So it's pretty much business as usual for me mostly, although the problem is that the kids are now, of course, home from school full time. We don't know for how long. Well, we know minimum it's at least, I think, the next 5 weeks, because we've still got 2 more weeks of the school term left here in New South Wales, at least 2 weeks left, and they've obviously now they've told if you can work from home, if you can keep your kids home, keep them home. So we can, so we are. Although the schools here are technically still open. If you have an essential job, you're a doctor, a nurse, or in some other essential industry, then the schools are open. You can actually drop your kids off, and somebody will take care of them. I don't think they're full teaching. I think all the teachers are still there because we're getting like updates. We're doing remote learning and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the kids were home all of last week, I think, and for the next 2 weeks, and then it's 2 weeks of school holidays, 2 or 3. So it's at least the next 5 or maybe 6 weeks, something like that, when that the kids will be home from school. And Mrs. EEVblog, she still works, technically still works 3 days a week, although because the schools are shut down, she's a government employee. I think there's some program or something where she gets like an extra 20 days leave or something like that, paid leave. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but yeah, she's still got her job, but she still has to work from home, which means the kids have to be home, and which means probably more hours for me actually taking care of the kids as well. So my content, just the time to work on stuff for me is going to drop. But yeah, I'm still free to come in the lab. It's Saturday here. The building's absolutely empty. During the week, there's still a couple of people still around in the building, but generally it's like, it's probably 80%, shut down, empty. So, but anyway, so still business as usual. Although my packing and shipping, my logistics person, Suze, she's self-isolating at home, so I've got to do all the packing and shipping myself now. So I'm still doing that. My store's still open. Whether or not I close that, or whether or not I eventually move to like a complete someone else handling it, like Amazon or something like that, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's still going. I'm still packing and shipping the products. So the EEVblog is still going. I'm still producing content. I'm still able to come into the lab, no problems whatsoever. And financially, it's doing okay because of course, still getting the Patreon money. I'm still getting the Google money. In fact, I think the Google ad revenue may have actually gone up a little bit, a reasonable amount. So I'm not entirely sure about that. Need another month to sort of check that out. But yeah, so the Google, so they're still rolling in. The sales from the web store are still coming in, so that's great. And I think all of my advertisers are still, although some of them like booked months in advance, so I've already sort of, already got that money like months ago. But my companies are still advertising and things like that, especially the Chinese companies. They're really back into it. They seem to be really wanting to get back into business. It's absolutely amazing how quickly they actually recovered from like total shutdown to, we desperately want your business back, please. So yeah, that's all happening. So basically all my sources of income are still there, which is pretty good. Although as per my last update about, I still got it on the window. No, I think I rubbed it off. Anyway, all the the various options about moving the lab. Yes, I'm in the old lab, which will be the new lab. Well, by the end of October, when I've got to move out. I'm definitely, I've given my notice. I am giving up the lease of my old lab. It's 100 square meters and it's completely empty now. I'm the only one in there, and I've actually started tossing some stuff out. I've started, giving stuff away. For example, I gave away 15 dumpster monitors that was stored down in my bunker. I'm trying to clean up my bunker as well. So the whole idea is that I have a lean and mean lab here, and all the excess stuff is stored down in the bunker. There's already plenty of room, but I want to free up even more room. So I'm getting rid of all that crap on there. So I will be giving away, either tossing, giving away, or eBaying a whole bunch of stuff over the next, 4 or 5 months, something like that. Now I've basically, technically, I'm trying to find somebody to take over the lease of my old 100 square meter place, because I'm still on the hook. I'm still under contractual obligation for, what is it, $3,800 a month total. That includes the outgoings and everything. It's $31,000 a year as the rent, but the outgoing on top of that's like another 10 grand. So it's like, I think it comes to about $3,800 and something a month I'm still paying for. So that expense is still there. And it's kind of times like this you think, oh yeah, these rental obligations are a real pain in the ass, because people say, oh, just stop paying your rent. Like, you can't just do that, right? They can sue you. Of course, there's this thing going around, how about, oh, if everyone stops paying their rent, for example, then like nobody can do anything, right? So there's nothing you can do about it. But of course, your rental obligations don't stop just because you shut up office. And I can't say that I'm shutting up my office. So like, I've got to keep paying my rent. So I'm on hook for $3,800 a month. Until the end of October, which was when my lease expires. Now, technically, I have tried to advertise it, and I had one bite, but that turned out that was a nothing burger. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be next to impossible to find somebody to take over my lease before I go. And I didn't know this. I actually talked to the agents. I got them in thinking that they can advertise it for me. I didn't really think about it, but if somebody finds the lease, if they find somebody to take over my lease, I've got to pay all of their agency fees and advertising fees. The owner doesn't pay that, because I'm the one who's actually engaging them in the work to actually do it. So I've just privately advertised it myself, put the feelers out. And so if you do need 100 square meters in the Norwest Business Park, hit me up. Anyway, so that was like weird. It's like $4,000 or something. So, it's quite a significant, I think it's like a couple of percent. 5% or something. No, 10% or something. Anyway, it's a significant amount. It's like $4,000 or something, even if somebody finds it. So if I found somebody now, yes, I would move out, but in the current climate, I don't think so. And I keep getting these shoved under my door. Like, this is just in the last week. This is a new building, which has just gone up in the Norwest Business Park. And it's got a huge amount of commercial space. It's combined commercial, residential. There's other new stock. So this is new stock. This is going to open like this month or something. It's almost finished. It's practically finished. Yes, builders are still working and stuff like that, but anyway, that's going up. So all this new stock's coming online. All these other ones, all these commercial places, there's tons for sale, and mostly for lease, but there's ones for sale as well. I've also got a friend who owns a 120 odd square meter one in the Norwest Business Park here. Hasn't been able to rent it for the last year. So yeah, so I had Buckley's chance of finding somebody to rent this place for the next 6 months, and I've got pretty much Buckley's chance of somebody taking over my 100 square meter lease. So I'm on the hook for that. So yeah, I've decided I'm going to move back in here. I'm going to downsize, as I said. So I'm going for the tight ass option, as it was in the previous video, where I own this place. So the only thing I have to pay is outgoing. So technically at the moment, I've got to pay for 2 places, even though I'm not using this. I've got to pay for the outgoings here, and I've got my internet installed, so I'm paying for my internet here, even though I'm basically almost not using it at the moment. So yeah, it's like I'm paying for 2 different places, and the 100 square meters is huge. Now that David has left, by the way, I'm pretty sure I gave you that update last time, but yeah, he decided to move, do his own consulting business and stuff like that. So, and it's times like this that I really, like, he was like having an employee, full-time employee is one of the biggest cash burns for a company, employee wages and stuff like that. So it's kind of fortuitous timing, I guess, that he decided to leave in December, so that now and then I can move back in here, I can really save the cash. And even if the advertisers pull out, even if this whole thing gets worse, and I'm still probably going to be fine, so financially. So shouldn't have to worry about that, which is great. But anyway, so here it is, the only thing I've installed in the new, so that's the update for the what's happening financially and business-wise. So I'm going to move back into here. These are going to be my computer desks. So I've started to move at least a couple of things from the previous, from the old lab or the current lab. And I've got, check out the number of PowerPoints, 4, 6, like beauty. Anyway, and all the Ethernet ports. So this is where my computer will be, and I'll have also all my PC instrumentation and stuff like that. So I'm going to set those up here permanently, and they'll be all hooked up to the PC, because when I do screen capture stuff and things like that, I need to be able to hook up PCs. So currently I don't do that in the current lab. I sort of, if I need to hook something up, I've got to move crap around and plug it in and get it all working, and I'll have it like permanently set up. So that's the idea. These two benches will be my computer one. I don't want to work in the cubicle. So the plan here is to keep the cubicle for just packing and shipping. That's it. I don't want to have to rent out another place, because you always have to take out like long-term leases and stuff like that. Although maybe I can talk to my neighbor and try and get some excess space somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can make this lab work without touching, or maybe some storage space in there. Like I'll have racks with storage of stuff in there, but I won't have any of the lab stuff inside the cubicle there. That'll just be for packing and shipping and shelving and, you know, storage and stuff like that. Right, so that's what I've got a couple of panels up here at the moment. So let me show you around. Now, this area here, I'll probably just keep all of this free, because I want it to, like, I don't want it to be packed. I want it to be kind of, you know, like sort of have like an open feel. Anyway, I've got my got some posters up there at the moment. I've got the signed Buzz Aldrin one, canvas print, oh lovely, and the Back to the Future ones. And this, I think this was my old soldering bench here. It used to be just there. That was the old capture, that was the old soldering and Tagano bench. I thought this would be my mailbag bench, because my mailbag bench is huge. It's 2.4 meters by 900 millimeters. It's absolutely enormous. It's the size of one of my regular benches. I don't need it that big. Like when you shoot on camera, I'm only shooting a small part of that mailbag shelf. So I thought maybe I'd actually put my mailbag shelf here, mailbag desk here, and just have a chair that like sits behind there. And I thought maybe an interesting idea is to have a green screen backdrop, and then I can get people to send in photos of their own lab, and then I can like superimpose those in the background. So every mailbag I would have, or any video that I shoot there, unboxing or something else, I could have somebody else's lab in the background. So let me know if you think that's a good idea. I thought that could work. So anyway, so that will be the mailbag shelf. So I don't want to have all that racking and crap behind me that I had before. You know, it makes kind of like a nice kind of set kind of thing, but I don't know. I don't think it works. Anyway, I'm going to have my usual, my existing lab layout here, my 3 benches along there and 1 along the back there. I'll probably, as I said, I'll probably start try and experiment with the glass board as a whiteboard. But anyway, I might put like a whiteboard. I could put like a whiteboard up over here, something like that. So if I just want to do regular whiteboard videos, I can do regular whiteboard video standing here. And basically, this is where the camera would be, because I use a wireless mic for that. So yep, I stand back a fair way. Anyway, so that's, yeah, and that's pretty much all I want to have in here. So I want to try and really minimize stuff as much as possible. So yeah, that's the plan. Let me know what you think. But the problem is it takes a long time to put everything, to move everything back in. Like when we moved out of here, we just sort of like packed up boxes and moved it out. I think it took us, myself and David, took us like 3, maybe 4 days to kind of move it all, but then everything sort of stayed in boxes. And like, I don't want to move anything into here that I don't want to have in the lab. So when basically it's going to take me a long time, so I can't just put everything in boxes and move it over here, because that's not going to work. I want to, I'm paying for the old 100 square meter office. I may as well use that big, huge space to just sort stuff out. So stuff I want to toss, stuff I want to sell, stuff I want to give away, whatever I want to do with it, stuff that has to go to that I want to keep but doesn't belong in the lab, so that'll be that goes to my storage bunker, and then stuff that I want to actually bring into the lab here. And the whole idea is to have a clean, nicely set up lab. So that's going to take months. As you can see, I've been like, I really have to go, right, I'm not making videos this week. I'm going to start setting up the lab. And of course, the big thing is like moving the benches over and things like that. And I can still shoot videos between the two places. My computers might come over last. Although nothing wrong with, I could move my computers now and like have that set up here and do my video editing here and shoot videos over there. I could certainly do that. So I'm paying for 2 spaces, so I don't know. I'm tempted to move because there's no windows in here, whereas I have a window. I don't like cubicles, but at least I have a window over in the bigger lab. So yeah, that's better. It's nicer. So I'll probably stay over there as long as possible. I'm paying for it. So, but certainly, maybe one of the first things I move is the benches all along here and that racking. I'll just keep. People say, "Oh, build custom." This is the time to build custom benches and everything. I don't really want to spend the money. I'm trying to like save the cash, and like that's a sensible thing to do at the moment. Should have like, that's why a lot of things are drastically dropping in the share market's dropping, gold and silver are dropping. Everyone's going to cash. Everyone's just, and property's going to plummet. Everyone's moving to cash, hunkering down. So yeah, good advice. So yeah, I'm probably going to spend the next couple of months just slowly moving stuff over, but the benches and stuff, that will take, you can't half-ass do that. You've got to go, right, I'm going to do it, spend 2 days dismantling all the benches, packing up all the instruments, or sorting them out. As I said, sorting out every single item. That's the thing, every single item in the lab has to be looked at, and I've got to go, which pile do I put it in? So it's not like I can get people to help me out and just move, because it's not simply a matter of moving, it's a matter of sorting everything out and deciding what I'm going to keep, so or what I'm going to do with it. So yeah, there you go. That's the update. It's still almost business as usual, except I'm spending more time with the kids these days. But yep, that's the update. I don't think I have anything else. No, that's probably, I should like write down a list of what I want to update with before I go. But anyway, I hope everyone else is doing safe and fine, because we certainly are. Although, like, I'm not worried about myself personally, or the kids, because the kids are healthy and robust. Although I'm getting on in years, let's say, I'm healthy and fit, so I got no worries. Technically, Mrs. EEVblog is in a high risk category, so she has to be very careful. We certainly don't want her to get it. That could be troublesome. So yeah, that would most likely require hospitalisation and all that sort of stuff. Whereas if I got it, I'd probably just get a sniffle or whatever and a little cough, and I'd be fine. But obviously, don't want to spread it. So yeah, I'm riding my bike to work, which is great. And there's just nobody around at the moment. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's kind of eerie, kind of spooky. Maybe I'll do like a bike ride around like the area or something like that and show you. But yeah, there's like all the businesses, like all the cafes and stuff, they're still open, but they're doing takeaway. For example, the food courts at the local shopping centres and stuff, they're all shut down. All you can do is get takeaway food and bugger off and keep your 1.5 metres social distancing rule and all that sort of stuff. It's funny to see. Just this morning I was driving past one of like a local shops, like a local suburban shops, and there were like 10 people standing in a circle, 1.5 metre gaps between them, just all chatting, like socially chatting. It was like, I call it the Corona henge. So yeah, it's just funny to see all these people standing in a perfect circle, all socially isolating, like distance 1.5 metres apart. It's nuts. Anyway, there you go. That's the update. So yeah, I'm going tight ass option here. I'm going back to the old lab, and yeah, I'm just on the hook for both. So it's at these times, yeah, I wish I didn't have a lease. Although I can still afford to pay the lease, but yeah, it's $3,800 a month until the end of October. And then I should be going into a low cash burn mode where, yeah, I've just got the outgoings, internet, electricity, the outgoings, which are $5,000 a year, which is pretty good. So it's only like it's only, yeah, like $12.50 a quarter or something like that. So it's pretty good. So overheads very low here, but I don't have a window, and it's only 50 square meters, but it gives me the excuse to have a much more efficient lab. So hopefully I'll be giving updates on when I install stuff here. So anyway, yep, comment down below. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.